Everyone knows that wavers spend a lot of time on their hair. They'll spend endless amounts of hours every single day brushing, washing, and applying product to their hair. But what if I told you that this wasn't the right way to do things? And instead of making you more progress, this will only cause you to burn out and quit, costing you all of your progress. Because at the end of the day, getting waves is a hairstyle. And just like any other hairstyle, it's supposed to be fun and easy to maintain. And over my 3 years of raving, I've been able to create this routine that I do every single day that allows me to quickly and easily make progress on my waves while still having tons of fun doing it. But before we start brushing, it's important that we're using the right type of products, because using the right type of products will get us the right type of results. Alright, so here I'm in the bathroom. It's morning time and I'm taking off my do-rag. First thing you gotta do is unrag. Now, the OG method of the first thing I used to do right after taking off my do-rag is only taking it off right to here, to my hairline, and then putting on my shower cap and wash my face. But if you've been watching the shorts lately, I kind of stopped washing my face first thing in the morning, and instead I'm just gonna, exfoliate my face a little bit. I think I forgot to do it here, but just put in that SPF moisturizer and just put it all over my face. I do think it is very, very important that you are doing SPF moisturizers, and I know this isn't explicitly a part of the wave routine, but waves is all about taking care of yourself. That's the whole point of waves. Wavers, we make sure we take care of ourselves. So if you're not taking care of your skin along with that, you're doing something wrong. That's extremely important. One of the reasons I even got waves in the first place, when I was 16, I was ready to make a change. I was ready to stop, not feeling confident about myself. So then that's when I started getting waves to feel better about my hairstyle, and that really made me feel good about myself. So one other thing I would tell my former self is to make sure you're taking care of your skin, same way you're taking care of your waves, and then along that, going to the gym. Now, unfortunately, I've gotten a bit older since then, so my hairline is starting to recede, but I've been using minoxidil for the past month. I'm not going to use it here because I just got it cut, and I don't want to mess up, the thingies or whatever. I'll do a hairline reveal later in this video, but you need minoxidil. Look, waves does not cause you to go bald. If you do any amount of research, you know that this is DHT. Just causes, makes your pores smaller, and then your hair just pops out and falls out and gets smaller and smaller. It's called miniaturization. Androgenetic alopecia. 85% of males watching this will experience this. I'm sorry, unless you're Asian, but you wouldn't be watching this because you wouldn't be able to get waves. But now I'm just gonna go in with some products. I'm gonna make sure I have my pomade. It's from the Wave Essential, so it's more natural. It's called pomade, but it's more of a butter. And then I got a couple of oils. I'm gonna go in with that as well. And I also have something that looks like an oil, but it's more of a DHT blocking. But it's not an oil. It's a serum, so it's a water-based oil. But I'm not gonna have on finasteride just yet. I'm not even 20. I'm turning 20 next month. I'm literally 19. So yeah, I don't fully know the research with finasteride, so I'm just gonna be a little bit careful before I go in with all that. But yeah, minoxidil, it's been great, and just from using this for 30 days, I'll put up a little transformation. I'm already starting to see results, unless I'm being delusional, but I will make a YouTube short about that, and hopefully a long form video once it's been a full 90 days. And as for the brushes, I'm just going to be using several types of soft brushes. Most of you guys only have one type of soft brush, but all you really need is one type of soft brush in a plastic bag. Now, I'm using 3 types of soft brushes in a lay-down pad, but I'm a little bit more experienced. I can afford the products, so I'm going to take advantage of that. But just know the more soft brushes you have, the better type of lay you have. The best case scenario with waves is that you have one brush, you have like 1,000 different type of brushes. Let's say you're doing a brush session and you have 1,000 brush strokes. Pause. Each brush has a different type. Each one gets progressively softer. That would take a ton of time to do, but yeah. So the more range and softness and textures you have going down, the more laid you'll be able to have your waves. So that's why it is beneficial to get multiple types of soft brushes. But here, I just start by putting the product. I don't even put product in my hair yet. I'm just using my ultra soft brush, and I'm just warming up my hair a little bit. That's an OG method that I do, because when your hair is all compressed and stuff like that, and you instantly put products, It's not really the best thing to do, but we are on a time constraint. Assuming this is the morning, don't want to lift up our hair, trying to get ready for work, trying to get ready for school, trying to get ready for the day, our date, whatever you got going on. That's the objective. So don't come into your morning sessions thinking that you better put in all the work. Put in all the work later when you got the time and the necessary tools to do so. Put in that brush work when you're doing that real brush session when you're wolfing. Put in that brush work when you're doing that washer style. Do not put in that brush work in the morning routine. You will still get results because you still need to maintain your hair health. You still need to maintain how easy it is for your hair to get laid, but you don't want to unlay everything that goes against the whole purpose of this. Alright, so the way I want to go about applying products, it's a mix of two methods. So the OG method, I used to just put pomade, hard brush, or medium brush. Then when it's all laid down, then I put the oil, soft brush. That's great. That's great for your brush sessions, but to get the best moisturizing, you want to do that at the same time. And at the end of the video, I have this secret, not so much a secret. It used to be an OG method, but it was just reintroduced to me, and I think that it really does help out moisturizing. And I do have a moisturizing video coming soon because I think it's so important to really learn how to moisturize properly. No one really talks about it, but it's literally how you get really good hair health is by moisturizing, obviously. So here, I literally mix the pomade and the oil in my hands. You know, pomade is basically just sticky oil, so they mesh well. You probably don't want to do like a leave-in. I'm trying to say a leave-in conditioner over there. You don't want to put your water-based products and mix those with your oil-based products, because as you know from 6th grade science class, oil and water don't mix. So the water is the base. So the water would be leave-in, that's the base, and then you put in your pomade. Reason we're not using leave-in is because it's a morning routine, and as you know, water makes your waves curl up. Now that's a good thing in terms of moisturizing. That is not a good thing in terms of getting waves. But if you're trying to moisturize your hair and you're putting in a leave-in conditioner and your hair's not like getting up at least a tiny bit, that's a really bad sign, and I don't even know that that's possible. So after I put the product in, I'm just gonna use one of my softer brushes for around 5 or so minutes, just so it gets around my hair. Now I'm not even using my hardest, softest brush right here, and I don't think I go any harder than this. I really make sure to go be around my pattern, and that very specifically, I'm not lifting my hair up enough to where it's gonna be really hard to lay it back down. The way I would do that is if I combed, or if I used even like a medium brush, medium hard brush, because when you're doing that, you're like rooting up your waves. They're no longer laid when you're doing that, and that's something we can't have. Now we gotta spend an hour trying to lay our hair down, and we gotta leave for school in 10 minutes. Nobody wants that. So make sure that you're being responsible at the times you choose to do your brush sessions, and responsible with the types of products you're using. And if brushes are products, you want to make sure you're being responsible for the type of brushes you're using. So which is why we're not even going to try to risk it, because if you got stuff to go to, you got a job interview, you got anything, you got a test and a driver's license, whatever, and you show up but your hair all frizzy because you could try to do a hard brush session in the morning, like that's on you. So I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen to you. And even experienced wavers, like sometimes we just don't gauge it correctly and we're like, oh, we thought I had time. But the method I will show at the end of the video will be able to kind of mitigate it a little bit if you did run out of time and you weren't able to lay down your hair all the way. And if you were able to lay it down all the way, it'll make sure that your hair is completely laid. And I keep teasing it at the end of the video because you do it at the end of the session, you know. Alright, so now I'm going in with the DHT blocking serum. Now, at this time, I recorded this a couple days ago. I wasn't too sure if like the blackout spray, the Beijing, the hair fibers, whatever it is. I wasn't sure if it'll come out if I use minoxidil, because minoxidil has alcohol in it, and alcohol cleans stuff pretty good. So I wasn't too sure even how bad my hairline was looking. But like this morning, as I might as well show it right now, honestly wasn't looking that bad. And this is like a month into using minoxidil, so this is how we're looking. I say that and then I'm freaking chopped. But You can see here, it looks like there's a chunk missing, but if you go really close and you compare that to 30 days ago, all the tiny hairs you see are not even there, bro. And then this side, it doesn't even look like I'm missing anything at all. And my barber did cut my hairline down a little bit too, so this stuff does work. Just make sure you're being responsible. I don't derma stamp every single morning. It's popular to see on the internet. I don't do that. I do it once a week, if that. And I'm just using that minoxidil. Ideally 2 times a day. But yeah, it's been working. So if your hairline is going away, if you even see a tiny bit, bro, please do not wait. Because the quicker you swallow your pride and buy minoxidil, bro, and do some research, the less time you have to wait for it to get fixed. If I was to do this in 2023 when I first started to notice stuff, you wouldn't even know. Nobody would know. I would just be using minoxidil all the way until I could hop on finasteride and then do that, and I wouldn't have to worry about going bald like ever again. But here, I'm trying to make sure that, back to the video, I'm trying to make sure that this stuff, you gotta clean your forehead too, especially if you're moisturizing before you're doing your brush session. Make sure that all that product doesn't drip down. I put a little bit too much of that DHT blocking serum in my hair, so it did kind of mess up a little bit. Alright, so now at this point I'm using a little bit of a firmer soft brush but I'm not using it horizontally, because if I use it horizontally, I'll be doing way more damage and lifting up a bunch of hairs. But because I just put some products in my hair, even though it's not water based, it's still gonna lift up a little bit because it's still moisturizing. But that's why I'm vertical brushing. Vertical brushing, it's like it puts your fibers in more aligned because it's a concentrated attack. While if I was horizontal brushing like normal, it's a dispersed attack, so it's not going to be as strong. So using it vertical brushing, it's going to be a concentrated attack, and the fibers are going to do more of what I want it to do. I mean follicles, whatever you call your hair, instead of horizontal, where it's gonna have more surface area, but it's gonna lay it down a lot worse. So now after that, we're gonna do a little bit of a secret method where I pour some of that oil. I put the one that smells the best, because you know, can't really put grow oil or anything because it's not going deep in your scalp. Put it on the lay down pad, then I just lay down my hair. I find that the lay down pad isn't that useful when your hair is too low. So if you cut your hair to 1.5 or 2, after that, the lay down pad isn't that useful. You gotta just use the softest super brush. If you have a goat bristle brush, that would be the best thing for you when your hair is super low. But now that I'm finally starting to wolf again, and by the way, it's my last wolf session ever before I scalp, so stay tuned for the scalping because it is coming real soon. I just gotta come up with something before I do that. But using that lay down pad literally adds compression. What a do-rag does, a do-rag protects, there's 2 things. It protects your hair from the outside, it locks in moisture, and it adds compression. Technically 3 things, but those last 2 things are basically the same thing. But the lay down pad is able to add compression without even having your do-rag on. So if you're in a rush and your hair's lifted all up, maybe you woke up without your do-rag and you don't have time to do a washing style, if you're able to just lay it down as much as you can, but with a hard brush after combing, and then you're able to go on a soft brush, and then you're able to use that lay down pad and do the method that I'm about to show, you'll be set. So at this point, I'm putting on my do-rag, and if you put on your do-rag like this, as I'm doing it in the video, it's better for 2 things. Do-rag lines will go away, it'll be more comfortable. I keep saying 2 things, but it's really 3 things. And it adds better compression, especially to the size of your heads. And a lot of you guys do struggle, especially with lower quality do-rags, of getting compression on the side of your heads. But one little tip you can do if your strands are big enough, just flip that thing up and go like that. And I haven't really had any compression issues at all. But should I come out with my own do-rag? Let me know. I don't know. I kind of just want some like simple ones, some like solid colors, like the gas station types. But I wanted to have the quality of these type of do-rags. Though, if maybe in the future we can. All right, now as for the method that's gonna make sure everything is locked in, the moisture's locked in, and the compression is there. Boom. We go in with a spray bottle. That's just a water spray bottle. Don't mind the whatever. You could do the hot towel, but that's more when you're doing like a full moisturizing session. But just by adding some moisture on top of your head, you don't want to drench your hair. You don't want to get it all wet. Pause. You just want to get a little. And if you have a fresh cut, make sure you're covering your hairline, doesn't hit your hairline. because the beiging and just water and fresh hairlines is a mix. Well, probably want to do a wash and style before the haircut, not after, because if you do it after, you just get rid of your cut, and my cut is kind of already getting rid of. But I gotta do what I gotta do to maintain my hairline so I can actually get cut still. But just make sure you're not overdoing the water. It's fun to spray on too much. If you spray on too much, it won't dry in time anyways. But spray a tiny bit, and then boom, you'll have the compression, the waves will be locked, and it'll be laid down. Okay, so now that you know what the perfect morning routine looks like, it's important that you carry this momentum throughout the entire day. So watch this video next so you can know exactly what to do at night. Thanks for watching. God bless.